From Hollywood, time once again for Money TV. I'm Don Baillargeon. Thanks for joining us. Money TV is the program all about money and what makes it happen. In June of 1972, 5 men broke into the Democratic National Committee offices, which were located in a complex known as Watergate. That crime, followed by the Nixon administration's failed attempt to cover it up, became one of the biggest political scandals in U.S. history. It also gave birth to the suffix "gate," which is added on to just about any scandal or accusation the news media deems worthy. This week, news outlets are buzzing about conflicting claims that the Trump campaign was infiltrated by spies from the Democrats, and there are further claims those spies were authorized or ordered by then-President Obama. The U.S. Department of Justice has said it will investigate whether the FBI spied on Donald Trump's presidential campaign for political motives. Reports by the New York Times and Washington Post said that the FBI had sent a source to meet at least 2 campaign aides. It's unclear what information that source actually provided to the FBI or when he started working with them to investigate the Trump campaign. In March of 2017, President Trump claimed his campaign had been wiretapped before the election. The denials and ridicule came fast and furious from both the news media and late-night TV hosts, not to mention everyone on the left. According to USA Today, what a difference a year makes. Recent revelations of the extent of the anti-Trump surveillance activity have forced Trump critics to adopt a new narrative. Former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, who once vehemently denied there was any wiretapping, now says spying on the campaign was actually a good thing. The New York Times took issue with the term spying, saying rather that it was simply an investigation. Former FBI agent Asha Rangappa wrote in the Washington Post that spying was in fact for Trump's protection. Now, of course, keep in mind, we're talking about the spying that supposedly never happened until it was discovered that it did happen, and now the spin is it was all for a good cause. As it always seems to happen in Washington, however, this will end up with the big dogs going free because some underlings will fall on their swords to protect them. The only real dilemma is what we're going to call it. Trumpgate, Obamagate. Spygate is a natural, but it's already been used. FBI-gate, that doesn't have any ring to it. How about we use a term that best fits Washington? Let's call it Swampgate. Now here's something that has no gate attached to it whatsoever. It's our toll-free number, good from anywhere in the world you're watching the program, 888-259-4449, to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. It is free. It's an email publication, so we will need your email address. Just call us toll-free from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Be sure and visit us at MoneyTV.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Well, our first guest is joining us over the phone, Mr. William Hartman. He's the CEO of a company called Premier Biomedical Incorporated. BIEI is their stock symbol. Bill, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Don. Always a pleasure.
Well, we had you on the program briefly last week. You were reporting from a trade show in South Carolina. How'd that go for you?
It was absolutely outstanding. I mean, this was the Sorinex Summer Strong event. It's done annually. It's in Lexington, South Carolina, and we met a lot of people. We had contacts and new distributors that we've lined up from Alaska to Australia and everywhere in between. I mean, rodeo, bull riders. I mean, MMA fighters, weightlifters, football coaches, in college and high school, exercise equipment people. Really a diverse group, but and they were really excited about our product.
Well, of course, you're talking about your pain relief products that are hemp-based, correct?
Absolutely, Don. Our earlier products. We were originally an R&D company, just for a little review, working on anti-cancer drugs, and it outperformed the leading anti-cancer drugs in the market and animal testing. And we frankly just had to put them in a delay mode until we get some money. So we had to convert to a revenue-producing business, and we've chosen the hemp oil or CBD business. We started in February of 2017, just a little over a year ago, with one product. During 2017, we developed 4 more new products for a total of 5. And now we've just come out with 3 enhanced or extra strength products under the trade name Pain-EX2 and a trademark name, and they have the most CBD in the industry. Now, for example, our roll-on roll-on applicator started with 100 milligrams of CBD, the most in the industry, might I add, and we had 150, and all the competition had 100. We've now bumped that up to 200 milligrams, twice as good as the best competition. We have a spray and an ointment that were at 150 milligrams and still are on our regular product. We bumped that up to 500 milligrams, and we introduced these at this Summer Strong event put on by Sorinex, and we have sample cards with samples of the 500 milligram ointment, and people that used it on one day came back the very next day and bought the product, and they said, this works, and it does work. We have we're actually presenting this, Don, to the market as an alternative to dangerous opioids. You know, Don, that 200 people a day are dying from drug overdoses. A study out of West Virginia said that 2/3 of these people that are dying from drug overdoses started with pain killers, opioid painkillers prescribed by doctors. And when the legalization of these has become much stricter, they're putting pressure to stop doctors from writing these pain prescriptions, and people are turning to opioids or are turning to fentanyl and heroin. And fentanyl is 50 times more dangerous than heroin. But at any rate, and they start the death spiral. We're working with a number of organizations, political and the Army. We've recently sent some samples to a group that's working with the Army, and we hope to introduce this product to them as an alternative to dangerous opioids.
Well, Bill, I've got to stop you there. We're just about out of time, but I know we're going to have a long interview with you in a future show. Once again, the company is Premier Biomedical. BIEI is their stock symbol. Congratulations on the success of that show, Bill. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Don. Always a pleasure. You know, I always run out of time because I have so much to say. And there's a whole lot more. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
And joining us in studio now is a dear friend of the show, Mr. Michael Manahan. Mike is the president of a company called Blue Tango Incorporated. Mike, welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Blue Tango is obviously a spirits company. Very exciting. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this is really exciting about Blue Tango. We are a spirits company. We're a company that's already out there selling. We have a line of products. I think we'll get 18 SKUs altogether. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we're moving into really what is an amazingly changing market in the alcohol beverage industry.
Well, that's interesting because I had not heard that, but you said there's like an evolution going on in the spirits industry right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of forces, and this is why it's a great time to launch a company like this. There's a lot of forces at work that are changing the way consumers buy. First of all, today's alcohol beverage consumers do not have the brand loyalty that, say, our parents may have had, or even we had. I mean, I remember my dad, he was a rye drinker. He drank Canadian Club. First drink he ever ordered was a Canadian Club, and the last drink he ever ordered was a Canadian Club. But today's alcohol beverage consumers are not only looking for different brands, so this week they may try brand X, the next week they try brand Y. They're also adapting what they drink to their particular lifestyle activity. Okay. So they may be a Scotch drinker in the evening, they may be a wine drinker at dinner, afternoon it's beer. So there's not this kind of rigidity that we've seen in the past. In addition to that, they're drinking less, but they're drinking better quality. So the growth in the alcohol beverage industry is not with the major brands. They're basically flat. The growth is in the new brands, such as an example, Irish American whiskey, which is one of our brands. This is Irish whiskey. It's this one here is 10 years old. It's distilled in Ireland, but it's aged in American oak barrels. And in fact, just won at the Wine and Spirit Show in Las Vegas the gold medal. Yes, so we're really excited about that.
Well, you know, given this evolution that you're talking about in the spirits industry, that makes it easier to break into the industry, break into the business. But does it make it more difficult to hang on to the business?
Well, it does, but that's why our strategy is not to be a one-product company. You know, there's a lot of people launch alcohol beverage companies, and they've got one product. They got a rum, or they got a tequila, or they've got a gin. We have a full line of products. We've got 18 SKUs with more coming. We have everything from Irish whiskey, aged brandy and cognac. This one we're really excited about, pre-packaged cocktails. These are actually pre-mixed cocktails. This one's a strawberry daiquiri, 9.9% alcohol, comes in a pouch. Throw it in the freezer, turns into a slushy.
Wow.
And French pastry, which is our cream-based liqueur. And unlike Bailey's Irish Cream, which is whiskey-based, we have a neutral spirit in our French pastry, so you don't get a whiskey flavor, you just get the true flavor. This one happens to be salted caramel nut, and I can tell you it's absolutely delicious.
Well, with these new products, and you said you have 18 SKUs, and there's a lot of other companies that are breaking into it. You say people are not brand conscious anymore, brand loyal anymore. How difficult is it to fight for shelf space in retail locations?
Well, shelf space is always an issue, but the nice thing is, particularly in places like California, might not be in some of the what we call closed states like Utah, but in California, there is literally tens of thousands of retailers. The grocery stores sell booze. The liquor stores sell booze. The specialty stores sell booze. You know, Costco sells booze. There is literally just a massive retail distribution system for alcohol. The drugstore sells booze. So we've got a lot of opportunity. You don't have to get it into every store. All you need to do is get it into some stores. And then, of course, there's also the restaurant and the bar market. So something like this, our Irish American whiskey, chances are if there's a whiskey bar, they're going to be carrying this product.
Now, how successful have you been as far as getting your product out there?
Well, very successful. We literally started distributing this product only a few weeks ago. Our first order was $15,000.
Nice.
We took a large order for this particular product, almost $200,000.
Wow.
And so the business is coming in. Now, we're just starting out. We only started selling product this year, so it's going to take us time to gain momentum, but certainly early indications are that we're going to have a very successful company.
Now, of course, you're a private company. We're almost out of time, but you do have an investment opportunity. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're trying to raise a little bit of capital. We don't want a huge amount, but we're trying to raise a little bit of capital, and we want it to be a fundraise too. So if you come in and you put a little bit of money into the company, you'll be a member of our Founders Club, the Blue Tango Founders Club. We're going to have all sorts of neat events and activities around the Blue Tango Founders Club. Go to our website, bluetango.net. That's BLUTANGO.net. Click on the thing that says investors. Send us your information. I'll give you a call personally. We can talk about it.
Once again, Mike Manahan, president of Blue Tango Incorporated, bluetango.net, BLUTANGO.net. Mike, congratulations on this new company. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it.
Well, joining us now on the phone is Mr. Warren Wang. Warren is the CEO of a company called ChineseInvestors.com Incorporated. Their stock symbol CIIX. Warren, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Donald. How are you, Donald? Nice to be here.
Well, really glad to have you here. Now, you must have the best frequent flyer program going because you're either in New York or LA. Right now, you're in New York. Tell us about what's new at the company.
Yes. 2 days ago, I interviewed by the podcast called Bad Crypto. I don't know if you heard of that or not, but they are very popular among the cryptocurrency investor field. So we are talking about we are going to launch a new exchange called ICO168.io around like the 4th of June, National Day for non-U.S. investors, non-Chinese investors around the world. So that's why I'm here in New York, because I'm building the team. We have Chief Executive Officer Donald Meyer, and then we are recruiting a risk manager. We are recruiting the COO. That's why I'm here in New York almost every 2 weeks of the month. But news is the good news, and I'm going to back to next week. So I'm going to see you, Donald, and everyone on TV. I like to see everyone on TV and see how excited I am. And I have a goal for our exchange, non-U.S. operation. Be honest with you, because I think in the U.S. territory, when you say exchange, it's really a big thing, because we only have, Chicago, Mercantile Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. So, but we are like we register in St. Vincent. I just joke with my colleagues. I said I'm going to buy a private jet within 3 to 5 years, so we can painting our logo over there. We fly all around the world to meet all the investors, meet our clients, because we want to really, really bring the profitability to our investors.
Have you ever seen anything in your career, Warren, that's been so exciting as this cryptocurrency thing we're seeing right now?
Yeah, I think the exchange is very, very exciting things, because on the valuation standard, I think like a Binance, they have a $1.5 billion market cap, but their profit is almost close to $1 billion based upon their recent 3 quarters earnings. So you are talking about buying a cryptocurrency exchange for 2 times PE. So which is, I think it's stealing. So right now you see bloodbath on the cryptocurrency field, but I think it's time to watch this Binance, watch the HT, watch this OKEX. Watch some, if the Coinbase is traded, it's not, it's a private company, but just watch the Binance. If they drop below $10, maybe it's a good time to buy also. That's why we want to set up an exchange for non-U.S. territory to really expand the business, and my goal is buying the private jet in 3 years for the company, for the shareholder, for the investors. It's crazy, but it's my goal,
Once again, ChineseInvestors.com, CIIX. Look forward to seeing you back here in Los Angeles next week. Warren, thanks for the update.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat-fee news distribution network on the market. It's called AccessWire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the AccessWire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. AccessWire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
The problem is your credit score. Unsure what your credit score is? Call the Advocacy Network. 321-947-3220. Talk to Carl. He can help you regain your financial independence. Change your life today. 321-947-3220. Talk to Carl.
Have you heard the news? There's only one flat-fee news distribution network on the market. It's called AccessWire, and it's exclusively from Issuer Direct. Any day, anytime, the AccessWire News Network can deliver your press release to more than 1,500 media outlets in 98 countries. AccessWire also delivers real-time engagement analytics. You will learn who read and shared your press release and more. Best news of all, getting started is easy. Visit accesswire.com and extend your company's news reach today.
We are back. Thanks for staying with us. Joined in the studio now by John Hollister. John is the CEO of Imaging 3 Incorporated. IGNG is their stock symbol. John, always good to see you.
Hey, Don, it's always great to be here. Thanks.
We're really pleased to have you in the program. We originally did not have you planned. Last minute insertion.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program because you've got some big news, I guess.
You know, we are continuing to make progress. So we are real excited. The last time I was here, I mentioned that we were just about to start the regulatory work, which we've done that now. So the Experian Group, they've had our kickoff meeting. So we've been downloading everything that we know. They're learning about the product, and we're building the pathway forward to be able to submit the 510K later this year. So we're real excited about that as a big step.
Now, I want to kind of divert a little bit from what we were talking about, but on that same subject, you're the CEO of the company. The company's been dealing with this issue for many years. I'm sure you take a lot of shareholder telephone calls.
Oh, many.
What are you saying to people that are calling you now wanting updates? What's the cheerleader speech that you have that you talk to these people about? Because of course you have to do that.
Right. So, you know, most of it is focused on the excitement about bringing a really good team together. You know, I've mentioned the different people who have been brought on who really help validate what we're doing. That they validate it for me. People like George Zadaziak, you know, who was the former chief technical officer at Varian Medical Systems, having joined our board. He's a physicist and he's looked at the system and is excited. Jeff Peterson, our chairman of the board, had been at GE and Abbott Laboratories and a number of smaller healthcare companies, private and public, but also ones in the OTC, which is a very unique environment. And so those people, but our radiologists who are on our scientific advisory board are tremendous in terms of their view of the product and saying there just is nothing like this in the market, which is very validating for me.
When I talk to you on this program in this format, I can see the sparkle in your eye when you're talking about the company. The enthusiasm generates immediately. I think sure people watching, when you're talking to someone on the phone, are they getting that enthusiasm that you're feeling?
Well, you know, it's funny. I think they are, but I get more out of them. So I am thrilled when they call me because they're really interested. They've put money, hard-earned money into the company. Many of them have been with the company for a long time and have seen the ups and downs. And they tell me how excited they are because they feel the progress that we're making and they know the expectations. And we're trying to bring together the team that's capable of taking this to a finish line in the right way. So it's a symbiotic relationship, definitely.
I mean, it's got to be an exciting time to be involved with the company.
Definitely, very, very much so.
Now, you have a very distinguished career. Have you ever been involved in something that has this level of excitement at this stage?
You know, whenever you're thinking about launch, it just gets intoxicating. So every product that I've launched over my career in the healthcare space, you get to a place where you get full immersion. And this one feels like it's getting to the same place. And I mean, literally every fiber in your body, in my body, gets connected with what you're doing in order to launch successfully. And I can already feel that beginning build up.
Well, it's interesting because these chairs have automatic levels up and down. It seems like you're levitating from yours. What else is new since we last spoke?
Yeah, so the big next thing that we're working on is finding a product design team, and we're actually negotiating with companies that can ultimately be our manufacturer. And we are working with somebody that we're really excited about. They're experts in the space, and so we think that they can really help us update the Dominion, our device, bring the technology up. You know, computers go obsolete within a year or two, so we want to make certain that the computers are up to date. The radiation, so there's where the radiation comes from in the device could be updated, as well as and the state of the art in the flat panels, which is the receiver. As you'll remember, I don't know if your listeners, on one side you have where the radiation comes from, and on the 180 degrees you have a flat panel that receives the messages through the target. And I'll explain that on our next visit, but to show how the device actually works for your listeners.
Just about out of time, but I mean, that product design has to be an exciting facet to get involved in.
Well, you know, it's really remarkable as I get to understand the device better, but as you imagine in this circular loop where the radiation is actually trafficking around, and on the 180 degrees from that is the receiver of it. Well, when that radiation passes through the object, you know, whatever body part it is, it's emitted and then received on the other end, and through a very complex algorithm, that message is then translated into a three-dimensional model. But our device actually takes an image every degree as it goes around that circle in 1 second. And if you can imagine, and I like this analogy, which makes us different than almost anything else in the market, or anything in the market that we know of, if I was going up to an elephant to try to paint a picture with the blindfold on, and I touched the elephant in 2 places, the picture might not be that good. Right. But if I were able to get 360 pictures, touch that elephant everywhere, even with the blindfold on, I might actually be able to draw a pretty good picture. I think that's the best way to make the differentiation. Our device takes a lot of images and is sending that into a very complex physics process into a computer that then you could look at. So.
Exciting. Once again, Imaging 3 Incorporated, IGNG is their stock symbol. John, thanks so much.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Joining us now on the phone is Greg Lambrecht. Greg is the CEO of Single Point Incorporated. Their stock symbol is SING. Welcome back to the show, Greg.
Hey, thanks for having me, Don.
Now, I know you just returned back from New York City. Tell us what was going on there and how things transpired for you.
Well, a couple things happened there which are really exciting. We're working with a new group that has a kiosk that is able to disperse cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and this is a group that has already raised $50 million and is having one of the VPs of American Express come over as their CEO. But long story short, they're going to appoint us as their North American distributor for this kiosk, and it is some machine we're really excited about. And the other thing, of course, you know, we're have an internal deadline to file our Form 10 tomorrow, Friday, and if that doesn't happen, we'll try and get it out Monday, Tuesday. So we were in New York talking to investment bankers, about raising $5-10 million to follow up some of our acquisitions, and that went extremely well.
Well, I would have to imagine that the investors you're talking to are pretty excited about the pending Form 10 and what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, well, you know, one of the feathers in Single Point's hat that, you know, we've always known is our incredible volume. So, compared to other companies or our competitors, if you will, when we're sitting down in meetings with these investment bankers and they see that volume, it immediately sets us apart, and they're wanting to do a deal with us.
What's the latest with the Kevin Harrington national TV campaign?
Well, Kevin Harrington's actually one of the gentlemen that introduced us to the kiosk place. So he was there in the meetings, and we spent 2 or 3 days with him. We also did an interview in New York with Kevin, and the national commercial is moving right along, and we expect that to get out in June. That's exciting. Anything else new since we last spoke? Well, that's a lot. So we got our plate full, and Single Point is just moving in the right direction, and go Sing. Once again, Single Point Incorporated, SING. Greg, terrific update. Thanks for joining us. Thanks. On this week's Money Wrap radio program, we're going to look at different versions of the same news stories. If you don't think there's media bias, wait till you hear this. To find a radio station near you, to just listen online, go to moneywrap.com. Call us right now, 888-259-4449, toll-free from anywhere in the world to get free information about our featured guests. When you do call, be sure and ask to be added to the subscription list of our Money TV newsletter. It is free, as is a toll-free call from anywhere in the world, 888-259-4449. Visit us at MoneyTV.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's our show this week. As always, we'll be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us.